When you think about DS, what comes to mind is French elegance, technology, and this is no different. This is the new DS No8, and look at it. It's a really nice electric SUV, and we're going to talk about it. And the headline information for this is that 700 kilometers of WLTP range. Let's start with the front of the car in terms of the design. So this is designed generally to be as aerodynamic as possible. We're talking 0.24 drag coefficient. So if you look at this day running lights and the LED headlights here, it's pretty much DS's design DNA. It's their signature design. And one thing I love is when you look at the concept car version of this one, it's very close in terms of the finished product. So these are very nice. It's nice and snazzy. It sticks out a little bit, and I really like it. It's got a decent ground clearance as well. Moving further down here, we'll see this area here. This is actually quite active, so that opens and closes depending on what speed you're going at and where you're at. So that way, it helps again with that drag coefficient number, and also just that aerodynamic nature that this is all about, to save energy as much as possible. And then we'll look further down here. We have this lights here, this LED lights here, which looks really nice. We've got the illuminated DS logo, and yes, DS No8. So this comes in different trim levels as well. So we have this A12 one here, which is the top spec, the full whack. And we get this two-tone bonnet as well, which I kind of like. It looks really good and just makes it look a bit more luxurious. We're talking about what DS is all about, yeah? So we move further along, and it's just the same. It just looks really nice. Like I said, you got decent ground clearance as well on the front there. But that's pretty much about the front. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Moving on to the side of the car, this is just under 5 meters long. So it's actually a long car, but not too long in this segment. So we talk about the front. So we have up to 21-inch alloys here, as you can start from 19 all the way to 21. We've got the black cladding around it as well, and goes all the way down here, just going along the car. There's not much creases going along. I love that it sits flush in terms of the handle here as well. So that pops open. So you press that, that pops open, and then you open the car door. And then if you look on here, there's a little line here. I'm not sure what that's for. That's probably to tap your keys or something like that, but I'm not sure what the 3 line is for. If you know what that is, let me know in the comments below. And then we move further back. It slopes drastically. If you look on the back, we've got short overhangs on either sides as well. And then the door handle for the back, it's actually tucked in here. Again, just sits flush with the rest of the car. You've got that leading line here as well to elongate the car just a bit more. And then we'll look at the tail light here as well. Looks really nice and snazzy. Carries on from what we have on the front. Again, just DS design DNA. As you can see there, we've got all the little cut 3D effect and this blade effect as well on the lights. Looks really good and modern and stylistic. And then on the back, we have DS Automobiles on the back, and number 8 there as well. Very bold, they're very bold of what it is. So they want you to see it. It stands out a lot more. And then underneath this boot lid here, we have the camera that's tucked away here, because we also have a digital head mirror. And one thing you notice as well is we have a panoramic sunroof on this one, which goes from the front all the way to the back. And then we'll see the brake light here, and they've designed this to look sporty, and it looks really good. And there's a nice contrast in terms of the color we've got here. So if we open this up, we see what we have in terms of boot space, and boot space is around 620 liters, and you can also store more stuff underneath here if you fold that over. So we've got plenty of space in here. So this car is very practical, as well as looking good, long range. It's practical in terms of space as well, and it looks very stylish. I love the finishing in here as well, nice and soft materials. You got your 12-volt charging in there. You can fold the seats down as well to get even more space in there. I think it's 40-20-40 split in terms of the back seat there. So electronic tailgate, so that just closes like so. And then if we come around and look over here, we have our charging port. So this supports fast charge as well, so you'll be able to charge this up very quickly. And you notice how big this actual cover is. That's one of the biggest ones I've seen so far. So let's just close that back. This is still a pre-production model, so there's still some quirks here and there that's not fully there yet, but you get a gist of what you're going to get in this. So we have 3 different trim levels. So we have a 12 version, which is the full whack, like I was talking about, and there's also a Palace version, which is the mid, and also there's a base model as well. So depending on which one you go for, you would get different front grille on those things. So that's something to bear in mind. So if you go for the really base model, or I think even the Palace version as well, you won't get that front LED grille that we have on the front. And then if you come over on the side, we'll see our charge port here. This supports fast charge. So you're talking 20 to 80% in 27 minutes, which again is really good. So less time waiting for your cars to charge. But one thing you will notice is the size of this thing. It's such a big flap. This is available in various trim levels. We're talking the Palace or Palace version, if I'm saying that right. It's the A12 version, which is this one that gives you the full whack, and there's also the base model as well. If you go for the non-full whack version, the A12 version, you are going to lose things like those LED front grille that I showed you at the start of the video. But that's pretty much in terms of what you get on the outside. There's also not frunk on this one, which is a shame, but in exchange for that, we do get a big boot space space. You're talking 620 litres. Over in the car, so let's start with the back. But once you get inside of the car, you will notice how luxurious it feels, how cozy it feels in here as well. It's finished in lovely materials. We have this Napa leather finishing in this one. Sustainable materials used all around the car, which is really good. I also like this tanned finishing as well. I think it suits the car if you ask me. And this is what DS is all about. But in terms of how comfortable it is, you do get a slightly raised knees here. So I don't know how I feel about that. I prefer my knees not to be this high up. You get some space to tuck in your feet, not a lot of space there. It is flat floor, so you can sit someone in the middle comfortably with no issues at all. You've got climate control stuff here. There's also 2 USB-C ports here and a 12 volt that's there as well. Pockets on the back seat to store things if you need to. And there's also your armrest there, if I can get to it. There we go. So we've got armrest here, which is nicely situated in terms of the way that the cup holders are placed, because it doesn't mean that you're gonna end up putting your elbow through it. So 2 cup holders, another space here to store your phone maybe, or tablet or something like that. But yeah, really nice and comfortable here. These are heated and ventilated as well, and not many cars give you that in terms of the back seat. We have a full panoramic sunroof, which is also tinted. So when it comes to those hot summer months, you won't have to worry about getting too hot in the back of the car or anything like that. We have 16 speakers in here, and it's around 690 watts or something like that. And the sound system is by Focal, which is really good. If you've ever heard their sound system before, it sounds really good. So it's 3D sound and stuff like that. Over on the front, the story continues with how luxurious it feels in terms of the materials again. The seat feels really nice to be in, and it's nice and comfortable here. There's plenty of space to sort of wiggle around if you need to wiggle, especially for those long drives. And it's got seat massage as well, which is really nice. So again, adding to that luxurious element of this, we've got head-up display. We've got massive display here that's always displaying your climate control settings and other options. We've got instrument cluster that's also digital. And then we look at the steering wheel finished in leather as well. We've got some touch controls there for your media control and active cruise control and all that kind of stuff, your ADAS stuff, and then some controls here and there. Again, we have that Electra 3D sound system here, which sounds absolutely fantastic. And we got ambient lighting all around the car. Some of the cool things that you have here though is the fact that we have this neck warmer, something that usually comes in convertible cars. With this neck warmer, it means they're able to save on the range. And also, this is something you usually get with convertible cars or stuff like that. But it's actually quite interesting that they've included it and thought about that in here, because with that, you can have it running independently whilst you turn off the other ventilation in the car. So that way, again, you save on range. But generally, it's pretty cool. You have digital head mirror there, like I mentioned, using the camera on the back. And then we have this dual layer system here for the center console. Your top layer here has a wireless charging mat over here, which is nice and soft. It means you won't be scratching your phone. And then you got your gear shifter here or transmission shifter here, and then some couple of buttons for drive mode and stuff. We've got a little space here to store your keys maybe and hide it away. And then underneath here, we get more space in here. Obviously it's electric, so space is aplenty here. And then underneath here we have the cup holders here and 2 USB-C ports. But it's interesting the way they've placed the cup holders here, because or the bottle holder, because if you have a large bottle, you might struggle to get that through that gap to get it in there. That's something to bear in mind. But besides that, I think they've done really well here. In terms of the material, the sitting position, it feels really nice. Plenty of tech in here as well, plenty of safety features. But we're going to talk about all those things when we actually get to drive this. In terms of the powertrain, you have 3 options available. So you have a front wheel drive option, the base one. We have a front wheel drive with high range, and there's also all wheel drive with high range. So you're talking up to 350 horsepower. So the top whack, so when you go for the all-wheel drive high range, will give you 350 horsepower, 511 newton meters of torque. And then if you go for the mid one, so the front wheel drive high range, you're looking at 245 horsepower with 345 newton meters of torque. And then the lower end, we're looking at 230 horsepower and 345 newton meters of torque as well. All of them are based on that 400 volt architecture for the charging speeds. In terms of range, the top one is still TBC, but I reckon it'll be around 686 kilometers. The middle one will give you 750 kilometers, which is the one you want to go for if you want long range. And then the lower one, so the standard front wheel drive version, will give you 572 kilometers in range. In terms of 0 to 100 kilometers per hour speed, you're talking 7.7 seconds for the lower one, 7.8 for the middle one, and 5.4 for the top all-wheel drive high-range version. And top speed for all of them is 190 kilometers per hour. So you can do one pedal drive as well. There's a button here that you can press for that. So that's pretty much everything that you need to know about the number 8. But like I said, I'm looking forward to driving this on the road, and then we can talk more about how it drives, how it handles on the road, and maybe delve a bit deeper into all the car features and design and so much more. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below there. What do you think of the car? Would you get one of these? Let me know. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.